Welcome back to the channel. Earlier this morning, Peter Osvaldik and John Fryer presented at the BofA Securities 2022 Media Communications and Entertainment Conference. Here in this article, there's a script that you guys can read. So I will leave that in the description down below so you guys could check it out. So before this conference, T-Mobile made an announcement that they are going into a sale of the wireline assets that were a part of the merger with Sprint that they took on, and Peter Osvaldik pretty much disclosed that they had no use for that wireline whatsoever. They're not using it on the wireless side since shutting down, or going to be shutting down the Sprint network at the end of Q3 fully. And everything that I've seen, and I've been speaking with analysts on previous reports that, Sprint standalone, this business is a cash cow. It would have likely resulted in T-Mobile taking more losses financially to carry that wireline business that they have no path to utilize. They were not going to utilize it. Peter Osvaldik said that fiber footprint of Sprint's did not match the T-Mobile and how it was architectured, the network, how it was architectured. So that wasn't going to work. So they had no use for that business whatsoever. And in order to modernize and keep it up to date, it was going to have to probably cost them a ton of money to keep that up and running and modernized. So they decided to sell. They sold it for $1. Yeah, you heard that correctly this morning. They sold it for $1. That's all that was given to them. And then they ended up in a purchase for IP services for a total of $700 million. Now, this is the part where the street is very confused. So I just go ahead and pull that up here in the script. So it does result for us, as you say, from the $1 purchase price. So that's all they spent. But it's going to be a charge off of approximately $1 billion in Q3 on a non-cash basis. And then here it goes on to say, we will accumulate a upfront charge on the $700 million for the IP services. And this is the confusing part. We currently don't foresee a path to utilize those services. But of course, we're going to continue to look at ways over the course of that 4.5-year agreement. So right now, T-Mobile has no path to utilizing any of those services that they're spending $700 million for. That, as of right now, could that change? Potentially. But they went into this deal without any path to utilize what they're getting. So that's very interesting. The street is confused on that. A few analysts that I'm talking to as well, they're like, the deal likely just happened because T-Mobile wanted to get rid of the wireline business, which I totally agree with. They have, if they don't have the cash available, the capital to make use of it, get rid of it. And that's exactly what they said they would do in the last few earnings calls and conferences, and it became a reality this morning. So that's how they started off the conference. So a couple of other things during the conference. 15% of the entire T-Mobile base is now on Magenta Max. A lot of people kind of shocked about that number. They thought it would be more. They thought it would be closer to the 20%. But I'm hearing a lot of the T-Mobile base is still on the old T-Mobile One plan. So while you may think that's bad, that's actually very good for T-Mobile because there's huge upside in getting people into the Magenta Max. New customers coming in and existing customers that are still on the base. Huge upside, much higher upside than anything that Verizon and AT&T are going to be able to claim because they are already in much higher percentages on getting people to the premium unlimited plan. And T-Mobile is still adding in more value into the Magenta Max to make it even more attractive. The Apple TV bundle that we recently got with the Apple TV Plus, that's coming to the Magenta. You still got the Netflix that's discounted. It's no longer on us. Yeah, I guess the basic plan of Netflix is still on T-Mobile, but if you want the more upgraded version with the 4K and the more streams, you're gonna have to pay a couple of dollars out of pocket for that. And then all the travel perks overseas, the roaming, the in-flight Wi-Fi for the entire flight, all of that adds to the value. And for those of you who use the YouTube TV, 50% off, getting the 20% discount on the home internet, I mean, it all adds up to a very good deal. So that was disclosed, and also they did talk about the 600 megahertz spectrum that they purchased for the 3.5 billion, which most of you are already aware that was a good purchase from that low band perspective to really own those assets. So that was really good. But other than that, nothing else new on this conference. I just wanted to make this video to update you guys, but not a lot of new info. So we will likely have to wait until the next quarterly earnings, should be sometime in October, to get an update on the network pops and everything else, and maybe, you know, some other things that they want to throw in. But we did not get that at this conference today. John Fryer spoke a little bit about, you know, having cut the churn as low as they did, and that potentially getting lower. And he was asked about iPhone promos, wasn't able to disclose it at this point in time because the Apple event hadn't happened yet. So not a lot of info at this event, other than the fiber assets being sold, them disclosing that the Sprint footprint on that fiber didn't match the way the T-Mobile network was architectured, so they didn't need it. So they got rid of it as soon as, you know, as they were able to find a buyer for that $1 price point. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Again, not much to pull from here. I will leave this script in the article in the description down below, so you guys could check it out. But very interesting. Maybe we'll get another conference soon, and we'll be tuned into that. I know AT&T spoke, and Verizon, I think, speaks too. So I will tune into that to see if we get anything. But other than that, make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. Like, share, subscribe. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.